soy Ada.
Y yo soy Dany.
And we are back. Welcome back, guys, to episode 6 of Vida, Imperfecta, the official podcast for the HBO Max series Perfect Life. This episode is titled Cuando no quieres estar sola, when you don't want to be alone. And wow, this one was very layered. So let's get into it. Cuéntame, Dani.
Do you like being sola? Like, do you enjoy? I think I sometimes love to be sola. I'm kind of weird in this matter. Like, I love to travel by myself. I love to go to the movies by myself. Well, not now, of course, but like prior to 2020, I love to do that. So I don't know. People are kind of. I don't know if it's about being sola or feeling lonely.
Yes, I was just going
right?
to say that. There's a big difference between feeling lonely and being alone. And I enjoy being alone. I enjoy my time with myself, pero es totalmente diferente cuando no quieres estar sola. Like, you want to be with somebody. You want to have company around and it's totally different feeling. So this episode was very layered, so much going on, but we really got to, I loved the little flashback that we got to see of Maria and Cristina and their friendship and their relationship. I think for a lot of us, I'm sure it reminded us of the longest friendship that we have with a female in our lives.
Tendré mi propia clínica, un chalet y 2 hijos.
Paso de tener hijos.
Pues yo no, quiero 2, Federico y Carolina.
Con Gus.
Sí. Pero en la uni tendré más novios, si no me angustiaré por haber vivido un único amor. Así que lo dejaremos un tiempo. Después de la uni volveremos a salir y a los 28 o así nos casaremos y tendremos hijos. Pero tengo que ser madre antes de los 30.
Qué fuerte, tía. Un día seremos señoras treintañeras.
Anda que no queda para eso.
Did it bring you back memories of, like, do you have a friend that you still keep in touch with from high school that is one of your best friends, or...?
Yeah, totally. Like, my best friends are from the ones from high school. I have a bunch from college, but the ones from high school, I think that we grew together. So es diferente. Tienes una relación de ese momento en tu vida que te estabas desarrollando and understanding where you want to go, what you want to be. And you kind of went through different, like, big deals, big milestones in your life in those years. So, claro que sí. Shout out to Francis and all of them. They know who they are. But, see, I love this scene. And I completely connected with Maria, like, having everything super planned, like, saying, cuando tenga 24, I'm going to get married. When I'm 25, I'm going to have my first child. And definitely before 30, because, oh, my God. And I had that kind of plan. Yeah, man, I had that plan. Of course, life laughed about what I was planning. O sea, Dios, el universo, whatever you believe. They were like, yeah, girl, continue making your schedule for your entire life. Nada de eso va a pasar. And it's okay. Like, right now, I understand that that's life. And I don't know, Maria wanted to be a dentist to kids. She even had the names for her kids.
Oh my God, yes.
And she already had the husband. Like, Gustavo was going to be her husband for this entire story. So, sí, claro que sí. Y Cristina también. Everything turned out completely the opposite. And me pareció súper íntima, this scene. Like, it's a kind of conversation that you used to have.
Cristina said she didn't want to have kids. So it's like she's living the completely opposite life of what she said she didn't want it. And it's so interesting. Like, they each want each other's lives, or they each... It was really interesting. And then, so from that scene, we get transported to Maria and José en la cama después de actually, no, they were just talking. I don't know if they had just finished having sex or if they were talking, but a really interesting conversation came up as they're in bed, and it's the infamous conversation that a lot of women love to bring up, and it's the what are we? ¿Qué somos? What's going on here?
¿Y entonces cuál es el plan? O sea, la idea es que seguimos quedando aquí, haciendo esto.
Pues yo creo que el plan es seguir quedando y ver qué pasa. Porque tú acabas de salir de una relación bastante larga y yo me acabo de divorciar. Bueno, hace un año, pero poco a poco.
Sí. Poco a poco. Claro. Sí, yo no te estoy pidiendo nada, ¿eh?
No.
Vale.
What do you think about that?
We say that we don't like labels, but we women, we're tiquismiquis as Maria. I felt her. I totally understand where she's going, porque we want to understand where we are standing and hacia dónde queremos ir and how it's going to be our relationship with this guy. And I completely felt her. Y sí, compagino totalmente con lo que ella estaba sintiendo. Porque sí, porque quieres poner un orden, because you want to understand how to deal with this situation, and you want to be in the same page. You don't want to hurt his feelings. You don't want to hurt your feelings. You're taking care of your heart, and you're taking care as well of José's heart. Pero sí, no, me encantó igual the way that he dealt with the situation. Like he used, he was so honest, like, oh, I just got out of from a divorce. I'm just divorcing. It's been a year that I divorced. I don't remember exactly his words. And you are
You just got out of
in this
relationship.
mess. Yeah. And also it got me when she said, oh no, we're not amantes, we're not lovers. Porque amantes have this connotación in at least in Spanish, that amantes is like you are cheating someone. And in this situation, they're not cheating anybody, but they are not telling the entire verdad to
Gary.
Gary. So, it's kind of secreto what they're doing, but it shouldn't be, but it is. But, I understand this como
Like friends
ir y
with
venir.
benefits.
Yeah, but
something like
you
that, no offense.
would you tell somebody, like, would you tell Gary that, yeah, I'm friends with benefits con Jose? You wouldn't do that. Like,
I mean,
I feel,
yeah.
yeah.
It's messy. It's messy in all caps.
Yeah, it's messy, but at least they're in the same page. Like, this conversation, me encantó que pasara. They are together in this, and they kind of feel the same. Y no sentí que ninguno de los dos felt that they were haciendo sentir mal al otro, like they were, that the other person in this situation, in this relationship, was feeling bad. Oh, I wanted some more, or no, I didn't want anything at all. I think that they were okay with la conclusión of this conversation. So for me, it was perfect. I think it happened the way that it had to happen. But okay, let's move on now to Cristina. Okay, Cristina doing everything, breakfast, running around, mom, work, mom, work, mom, work,
I was
nothing else for
overwhelmed
her.
watching her do it all. I'm like, Dios mío,
Good.
I'm tired watching her do all of this. It's so much.
Is so much, and it is so hard for me that I don't even have a dog now, but si es tan difícil para mí, just even to make breakfast in the morning. Imagínate tú con dos niñas and she's taking the girls to school and then going to work. I really admire women nowadays, like cómo están manejando hoy en día la situación, después también del 2020. I really admire how they do everything and the best way that they can. Pero después, cuando llega al trabajo y saca este documento with all the Paula's doodles, and of course, that's not a big deal. Like, you can print it once again, doesn't matter, but it's what it represents. And of course, again, this stupid guy telling her, like, oh, you should cut your hours. Go F yourself, man. Like,
Yes.
die, just die, leave me alone. That's what I felt in that moment.
Como que no entiende. He's like, but he swears he's trying to be supportive and helpful,
Yeah.
and it's just so frustrating. And honestly, watching her run around and do all of these things brought up like a really good question for me, which is like, do you feel like women take on too much and they're afraid to say so? Because like we're in the era of like the boss lady and the boss girl and like you being empowered and like feminine power and girl power, but then like we're still expected by society to be the mom and to be the like do all the housewife things. So I feel like, I personally struggle with it already, and I don't even have kids and a family.
Yep.
Like, do you feel like we take on too much and then like because we want to be seen as these superwomen, then we're too afraid to say that we need help and ask for help?
Totally. You said las palabras mágicas, super women, and we don't want to ask for help. And we need to start doing this, and we need to start being more communicative with our partners, with our family, with our friends, and see how can we manage and do it. The thing is, at least for me, and I don't know if you feel the same way, sometimes just even explaining to other people what I'm going through and what I need them to help me with it takes so long, and I don't want to waste my time, so I rather do it by myself, do it everything, like do it by myself, and that's it. I would hate to be all the time micromanaging all the other people that are trying to help me. So creo que es demasiado, pero completely understand why sometimes you rather do it by yourself, porque,
Yeah.
man, to explain, waste that time, y después también que no lo hagan como tú quieras.
Oh my
But I
God,
need to
yes.
work, yeah, man, and I need to work on that for myself. But I completely understand Cristina. I completely understand why she's trying to do it all and to be the best that she can, pero sí, es mucha presión to be a superwoman estos días. I feel her, man.
I personally struggle a lot with asking for help. I think it's the way that we were raised, especially too as Latinas, like seeing our moms do it all. It's something
Sí.
that I struggled with, and I struggled with it already in my personal life, and then it started transferring over to my business. And I really had to like sit myself down and have a conversation with myself in the mirror, like, coño, man, like you need to just put the armor down. You need to put whatever feelings you have about asking for help to the side, because there's no way that I was going to keep growing my business trying to do everything on my own. And, you know, it feels good to be on the other side. It's a work in progress, but I have learned to ask for more help, to admit when I need more help, and to delegate. You know, it's definitely not easy, but it's rewarding when you get to the
It's
other
not
side.
easy. But here, the interesting thing that I'm seeing in Cristina case is that at least she's also trying to take time to have a kind of a social life, at least with María. Como que creo que tienen una excelente relación. And sometimes for me, I'm so focused on my work. I'm so focused on my relationship que se me olvida mis amistades, se me olvida la vida social. Well,
Yes.
this last year we didn't have much of that, pero you know what I mean. Que como que tampoco haces cosas para disfrutar la vida. And being on this beast mode, sometimes you get so tired and you don't get time to really enjoy life. Pero I think that at least in that thing, she kind of have a little bit of a balance. And well, more into this episode, ella hasta hizo tiempo to go to the high school party and reunion. So, sí ves que she kind of make time for that.
There was a scene that pissed me off, que me dio como una rabia watching it. It was when, after she had this whole crazy day, she comes home and she's feeding the girls, and her husband, Pablo, llega a la casa como si nada, like, you know, just like, oh, hey. And she's like, oh, like, you've been out all day. And he goes to the fridge because he wants to grab a beer with his friends. Y se tira en el mueble como si nada. Like, esa parte me dio una rabia, because it's like we literally just witnessed her running around, and then for him to come como si nada, like, it just made me so mad. I'm like, Pablo, you and Gus are on the same level to me. Like,
yeah, no, they both are parents, and that's another thing that in the Latino community, the Hispanic community, we have to work. Que al final los hijos son de la mamá y el papá, and there's this believe that it's the mom that she has to go the extra mile, and I'm tired of that. I don't cook, and I don't want to start cooking, and I'm not gonna deal with that ever. And I don't want you to think that because my grandmother is Italian, because my family is Venezuelan, that I have to cook. I hate cooking. I think for me, I love eating, but I don't love cooking. So yes, I hate when people are expecting that because we're women, we have to do all these extra things. Oh, because my mom did it. Well, I don't care. I'm not your mom. So you have to help me. Don't sit down and tell me that you're tired and you just want a beer, because I also want a beer and I'm also very, very tired. So yes, estamos al mismo nivel, and ya, hay que pasar la página en este sentido. Está aburrido. Está muy repetitivo, this thing. So yeah, but okay. Talking about the relationship between Maria and Cristina, the scene in the bathroom with Paula, I think that she was kind of removing lice from Paula's hair. I don't know, but I love that finally we see some crisis about the pregnancy, about being kind of a single mom in this entire situation. Because, okay, Gary is going to be super present, pero she's going to be by herself at her house. So, y le da esta crisis that for me, this kind of crisis hubiese pasado in the first month, in the first day, like getting tested, like getting the pregnancy test, the result, oh my God, I'm going to be by myself. Like in that moment, hubiese sido mi primera crisis. Pero I love that she finally, it's haciendo la matemática, and she showed her vulnerability and with Paula. That I love that it was the beginning of the scene was with Paula, and then Cristina se suma a la escena. Do you like the scene?
Yes.
I felt that this was everybody, every single woman in the world.
Like when you almost have that breakdown, like, oh shit, like como que le dio toda la misma vez, like what am I doing? What is happening? I'm gonna be by myself. And I love Paula so much. She's one of my favorite characters. Her little la cosa que ella dice, like, you know, when María se estaba arrancando and she's like, tú tienes
Dude, la boobs, sí. Te pican las estrías. Yeah, man. That also, I have to say this. La manera en que este show está escrito, like how she's going through this crisis, and they also can say this normal things like, okay, I'm gonna get you some rosa mosqueta for your estrías porque se te está rompiendo la piel. No, que no se te está rompiendo la piel. This is a regular conversation, and you can be in this super low point of your life y también estás hablando de estrías, you know, at the same time. So that for me was so great. It's one of the best moments for me in this episode.
And I love the support, right? She's reminding her, like, tú no estás sola. Tú me tienes a mí, you know, tienes a Gary, and it's like, come on, like, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. And so, you know, fast forward to the main focal point of this episode is this high school reunion that they're going to, and you know, they're talking about it in the bathroom, and she's scared that she doesn't want to go because, claro, in the back of her mind, you know, she's thinking about Gustavo, and she's like, Gustavo already knows you're pregnant, which caught her off guard.
Yeah. Sí, pero I think deep inside her, like she wanted since the very beginning to go y ver a Gustavo. I think maybe if you love or you don't love your ex pareja, you still want to see how you're going to feel. Like we have this kind of morbo that we want to see how we are going to feel when we meet them and when they see us for the first time. A ver si lo ves que está bien, if person it got, I don't know, it got fat, or it's the haircut is ugly. That is one of the first things that she noticed.
Are they miserable without
you? Yeah, like, and this is so stupid to be like this, pero yo creo que todos somos así. Decirlo en voz alta, it feels so dumb, but it's the reality. Like you just want to feel like they really miss you and they can't move on without you in their life. So creo que ella como que quería, pero que no quería. In the end, she went. He already knows, inside toda la historia que había pasado con Gary. Bueno, no los details that, of course, she tells him after that. But I don't know, like, I love, en esta escena, the thing that I love the most is when you kind of reconnect with these people from your early years, and you see how they, you know, where are they with their lives. And of course you feel these comments that, I don't know if you remember Cristina, que se consigue con estas twins, y las twins tell her, oh, we thought that you were gonna be, I don't know, fighting for the
like
medio ambiente. Yeah, and sí, y tú ahorita eres un lawyer for the bad guys. Well, sometimes you get good guys as well. And she's like, go F yourself. You know, like she did that perfect smile. And these conversations, they happen so often with these people that you feel that they're kind of in a competition, and that's so crazy. And it's not only between women. I think it's with everybody that they say these kind of comments that really gets you. And of course, Cristina se sentía además incómoda con toda esa situación, porque of course she wanted to be maybe a lawyer for, I don't know, el medio ambiente, pero, you know, life is life. A woman gotta eat, so trabaja y ya está. Pero bueno, me encantó esa cara. Y también in the moment that the entire scene that she created in her head about the dad of the year, like she's comparing herself as a mom to this guy and why this guy is being able to do everything. And of course she knows, I think deeply in her heart, that están abombando y creciendo everything that they are saying about this guy. Pero igual, man, like it's so hard to not compare yourself, and much more when people are saying that everything is perfect in their lives.
Yes, yes. And it just reminded me of how many times have we've been in situations where you're running into somebody from your past and you're like, it's that awkward conversation, how are you doing? And they're like, empieza una, no, because my life is perfect, que yo no sé qué, que blah, blah, blah. So then it's like, you're not going to sit there and be like, oh, well, you're not going to be honest, right? You're also going to be like, oh, well, my life is perfect too. And I just wish that we were a little bit more honest with ourselves and we left some room and space for people to show up authentically and be like, you know what? My life is not perfect. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm on the Hot Mess Express. I'm actually driving the struggle bus and I'm trying to figure it out. And so maybe one day, we can be a little bit more transparent about our realities. But the thing is that, as humans, it's natural for us to care about what other people think about us, tú sabes. So you definitely saw that in esta escena.
And yeah, we don't want to show ourselves to the rest of the world as vulnerable, and we don't want to show ourselves that we are débiles. And yeah, we just want to feel that we're also making it. And I think also when you are saying these things, or maybe not these lies, because everything that you say when you are talking about yourself, hay una parte de verdad, pero no agrandarlo tanto. Y creo que cuando you say these things this way, it's also because you want to believe it, and you want to maybe hasta hacerte porras for yourself, like, okay, you're working on this and you're getting better. So creo que también es hasta un mecanismo de defensa that we're trying to survive, and that's it. Y que la gente también nos quiera. In the end, for me, for the human race entirely, it's only about that. We only want to be and feel love, and that's it. Entonces, bueno, creo que es eso ahí. Pero en esta escena también que les llega por fin, llega Pablo, that now he decides to be romantic. Están en plena fiesta, and Pablo is right there, and she's like, this is my day off. Why you're not with the kids? And why you're not doing this? Oh, I want to be romantic. Dude, you have to be romantic the day that I'm off with my friends and having fun. Like, even today, I have to be the responsible parent. And that, again, is the same thing. O sea, porque she has to go to the extra mile and think about everything. Y este tipo, ay no, estoy siendo impulsivo. Estoy siendo, I'm being romantic. That's not romantic. That's very selfish that you didn't want to spend this night, that it was your night with the kids, and take my time, my hours with my friends, that I need to vent my head. ¿Cómo te sentiste? Do you felt the same anger that I'm feeling?
Yes, like I felt so frustrated for her, and like you said, how selfish of him to just come and be like, oh well, I wanted to be romantic. Like, no. And you can definitely see the tension growing and things rising up to the surface, and como que you're on your like, vamos a ver qué pasa with these two, because things are really getting tense. You can feel in their interactions. So she finally ended up telling him, like, he's like, I never see you anymore. We're not romantic. We're not this, and blah, blah, blah. And let's talk about a very important moment in this scene, because the truth just starts coming out little by little. And, they're talking about the kids, and he's like, I feel like you don't even like your kids. And she just, I don't like them sometimes. And I was like, wow, like.
Muy bien, Cris, ¿eh? Tía, estoy intentando ser un poco romántico, currármelo. Te da un caso, tío.
Pablo.
¿Qué?
¿Por qué no te pides la reducción de jornada? Podrías estar más tiempo con las niñas, ¿no?
Tía, que viene esta hora, Cris, coño. Que sabes que estoy a tope en la agencia, que no paro de cerrar cosas que nos van a venir de puta madre a los dos.
Bueno, yo también estoy a tope en el buffet, ¿eh?
Pero yo no te estoy diciendo que te pidas la reducción de jornada.
No, claro que no, porque tú no lo necesitas, que ya lo hago yo todo.
¿Qué te crees? ¿Que no me gustaría pasar más tiempo en casa? ¿Estar más con mi familia o qué?
¿Y tú qué te crees? ¿Que a mí no me gustaría estar más centrada en mi trabajo? Que estoy hasta el coño de hacerlo yo todo, Pablo. Joder, y no me dan ningún puto premio a la madre del año.
¿Tú te escuchas, tío? Lo que dices. Parece que odias es estar con tus hijas.
Pues es que a veces no las soporto.
Yeah, but I think that every single mom that is listening right now, they felt that sometime, and it's normal. So I love my mom, I love my dad, I love my husband, but there's some days that I don't want to see their faces. No me dejes hablar when we go on vacation or something that you're an entire week with that person and you just want to kill them. O sea, it's normal that you get tired from people y es totalmente normal. Y claro, estos son niños and yeah, they're cute. But, sometimes I just want to poop and not be bothered while I'm pooping. That I know that that's a big problem among mothers. Pero, ¿sabes? Todas estas cosas, I completely understand. The thing is that when you say these things out loud, immediately you feel judged. Y of course, Pablo la juzgó en ese momento, inmediatamente sacó la cuenta y ella también se sintió like a chola. Like a chola in my country is chancleta, like a chancleta, like a shoe. Se sintió horrible. Entonces, sí, o sea, totalmente. Y otra vez sale el tema about cutting hours. And she finally tells him, like, why don't you cut hours from your work? Oh, I'm doing great and I'm not telling you to do this thing. Yeah, of course, you don't have to pay attention to this little thing because I'm doing everything else and I'm collapsing. And I think that moment is her cry for help. And of course, with guys, I think that if you don't tell them the ABC super explicado, they would never understand between lines. So no creo, igualito, que haya llegado el mensaje here, but I understood qué era lo que ella quería in that moment. Dude, I'm collapsing. I need help. I need this. I need this party. I need to disconnect. I need to sing. I need to share time, be with my friends. Entonces, sí, man, me emocioné demasiado. Estoy muy inspirada. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's okay. And for me, like I said, I don't have the family, I don't have the partner, but it's like I felt very identified when she spoke about her career because he's like, what do you mean for me to take extra, the hours off? I'm doing great. I'm closing on these deals. This is going to be so good for us. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you not think that I don't want to be doing the same in my career? Like, she's very passionate about what she does. Maybe it's not the exact career that she saw herself doing, pero ella te entrega en su trabajo y ella también quiere superar en su trabajo. And it's like, she can't do it all. So I really identified in that moment with her about her career.
Sí, man. Pero bueno, nada, it finished the scene and at least they had a real conversation. O sea, I think in this entire season, they never had something like this. So for me, this is un avance. It's something more. And, por lo menos como que te das cuenta that there is a person inside those souls that they were on autopilot, this relationship on autopilot. But once again, they show us in the series this contrast between this relationship that it's kind of, temblando, and María and Cristina being completely honest with each other cuando se sientan ahí en las escaleras. And
oh my God,
María tells, yeah, I just, did this with Gustavo. And Cristina, like, yeah, I'm having affairs, different affairs. And I'm like, okay. And esa capacidad que tienen unas amigas de no juzgarse and be okay. Like, maybe you don't share the same la misma visión about life, but you just accept this person and you love this person no matter what. Y eso me encantó. Amé este contraste. I love friends like this. Like, we need more people with this kind of relationships, to have this kind of relationships.
Absolutely. And I couldn't help but see the make the connection that the episode started with them sitting on the steps of their school and they're talking, they're planning their vida perfecta, right? Y el episodio termina with them talking about their vida perfecta, right? That they thought they would have, but really their vida is very imperfecta. And they're like, shit, we're a fucking hot mess. And they're like, but we'll be okay. And I just really love that contrast, right? Of like starting the episode and then ending the episode in the same spot, but they're nowhere near where they thought that their lives would be. And that's real because shit, like, todo planes que uno hace, and it's like, that's not how your life is turns out. So I just really appreciated the rawness and the honesty in that scene to close the episode.
It's like the circle of life. Like, we start in the stairs and we finish in the stairs. I love that. And of course they did that on purpose. And I love that. But thank you again, Imperfectos, for being here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this conversation and had fun, as Ada and I did. ¿Verdad, Ada? We had fun. We always love to talk about this amazing show. Sí, es muy rico. And well, we just want to remind you that you can watch Vida Perfecta on HBO Max. And if you are enjoying and loving this as much as we do, tell your people, friends, a tu familia, a alguien that you know that maybe, well, they're trying to find more answers as we do. Gracias otra vez, un besito y hasta la próxima, ¿verdad, Ada?
Chao.
Chao.